And to give us more updates on this, we have our correspondent, Biola Festus, on standby. And of course, to discuss this further, we're joined by a political analyst, Declan Ihekaire. So let's start with our reporter, that is Biola. Biola, good morning to you. Has anyone or anybody claimed responsibility for the attacks on oil installations in River State?
What we know currently, no one has claimed responsibility for the attack on pipelines or oil facilities in the state. But the Ogonis, whom this happened in their LGA, are beginning to speak up to say, look, we are not responsible for this sabotage. It has got to be outsiders trying to frame them, or outsiders trying to create a narrative that the cause for the declaration of a state of emergency emanated from their domain. So that's the information we have right now concerning the blast or the explosion at oil pipelines.
So does this mean that we might start experiencing the new attacks on oil assets, or these are just isolated cases?
Right now, because the ones that happened, there are also narratives surrounding it that it has connection to those fighting for whom takes charge of the pipeline surveillance, or who gets the contract to survey the oil facilities in these vicinities. So all of these are narratives around this explosion. We do not know for sure which is truth, because we weren't there, of course, when it happened. And you would also know that there have been a lot of misinformation going around in River State as a result of this declaration for the state of emergency. Yesterday we gathered that the Declan Ihekaire, who is the former chief of staff to the governor, had secured a court judgment to stop the sole administration from resuming. But in a midnight press statement, he had debunked it. He said he was not a party to that was a total fake news. So all of this, we've got to be wary of fake news coming from the state, so that we don't get things tensed up.
Of course, we know that there will be a place like this to heat up the polity, but then one needs to be careful of misinformation going around. Now, I'd like to find out, have there been any maybe troops or personnel of the NSCDC on ground? Because we understand that the federal government has asked personnel of the NSCDC to actually man critical assets and provide protection for them.
At the time we reported the explosion till yesterday, we haven't seen any statements from the NSCDC. Neither have we gotten an invite from them to speak on it. But we are still looking forward. We are still waiting for them to speak up. We are also waiting for NSCDC to talk on this, to actually tell us the amount of spill and the extent of damage. We are still waiting for all of these people to come forth and speak on it, because they are the regulatory agencies and concerned bodies when it's got to do with crude oil infrastructure.
All right, so we understand that some of the residents staged, we saw the video where they staged protests, and the NLC also said to have also done same. How are the people in River State taking this all in? And what is the position of the NLC in this matter?
Rivers people have been calm since this declaration. They said they do not want a further state of insecurity, or they do not want to do anything that would make the president further declare or say the state is outlaw. So they've been in a peaceful disposition since this declaration. But all eyes are currently on the Senate now. They are looking forward to the outcome from Senate. Although they've called on several fora that the Senate should not ratify the emergency rule. But today would give a closure to that, because the Senate has 48 hours to ratify it or reject it. So they've been calls that the Senate should reject it, that the state has not been plunged into crisis and to warrant a state of emergency. In fact, Rivers people are wondering, what have we done? Where did we go wrong to have this emergency rule declared in our state? Yesterday we had some women from Rivers State, notable women from across the 23 local government areas of Rivers State, gathered to pray for peace in Rivers State, and of course for the restoration of their governor. Their cries have been, when the troubles will start, their sons will be recruited to fight. Their husbands will also be part of these. So they do not want these casualties. They want a state where they can feel safe with their sons and husbands. So that's the reason you saw Rivers women crying yesterday at the Ijaw Park. They are calling on the First Lady. Now this has gotten to a point of women speaking to their fellow women. They are calling on the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, to intervene, to talk to the president, her husband, to tell him that should trouble start brewing in Rivers State, should there be any emergency in Rivers State, their sons would likely go for it. We've seen this before. It has happened before. The militancy era in Rivers State is still very much fresh in their hearts, and this is a situation that they would not like to witness again. Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State has issued an early morning statement that they are satisfied with the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. In fact, they tagged it a painful satisfaction. They said this has got to be the only way out of the brewing crisis and economic sabotage in the state. According to the statement, Chief Tony Okocha, who is the chairman of APC in the state, said this solution profiled by the president is what the people actually want, that majority of Rivers people are happy with this decision by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ATB.
All right, Biola Festus, thank you so much for sharing these updates with us. We'll continue to keep tabs with you to get more details. Thank you.